Alrighty, welcome to today's practice. So throughout this week, my theme on the podcast, on the Substack, and even a lot of my classes has been around capacity and how we can widen our capacity to meet and hold life. And so when I like to think of it, I keep using different analogies, but almost like a plate. When we've got so many things on our plate, and we can feel like adding one more thing would just throw us over the edge. What if we widened that plate so that we were able to hold all the things that life is throwing our way? So this practice is for two different occasions. The first occasion would be if you're feeling like, I've got so much on my plate right now and I'm feeling overwhelmed and I just need to ease back. Or it's preventative care, where you're like, I'm feeling pretty good, but I know life is moving, life is busy, and I want to use this practice to keep that plate nice and wide, my container nice and wide, so that I could keep staying present and awake to life. Cool, so this is really, really a restful practice, and you're going to be laying down the entire time. You don't need any props, you don't even need a yoga mat, just maybe comfy clothes and resting on the earth. Awesome. So as you come to lie down, let's say take your hands onto the lower belly. Nice. And then start to close the eyes if that feels comfy for you. And before we even ground down, just arrive. One of my favorite ways to arrive into a new practice, into a new moment, is by feeling all the support that's underneath you. At the back of the head, the spine, the pelvis. Backs of the legs, all the way down to the feet, to the heels. How are they touching the earth? And then another way to simply arrive is with the breath. So a new breath that's coming into the body. Maybe let it go. Exhale. Exploring simply how it feels to breathe. And then just setting this container, this time. I know, especially if you're at home, there's distractions left and right. But see if you can really mentally carve out this time to place all to-dos, responsibilities, expectations, roles off to the side. The quality of how we're going to move is really subtle. We're doing less to receive more. We're slowing down and softening to listen to the body. All right, so we're going to start to move gently with the head. So roll your head to the right and roll your head to the left. Letting it be really heavy on the ground. And as you roll the head to the right and to the left, you might notice that one side feels a little easier, maybe a little more comfortable. Nothing to judge, just notice. Cool, bring the head back through center. And then I'll have you take the right arm to the ceiling, to the sky, and then soften the fingers, soften the wrist, soften the elbow. Yeah, that's so nice. I love having Callie here as a little model. So you know how a masseuse would kind of come under the shoulder blade and start to lift the shoulder blade away from the earth? I want you to feel that, like you're reaching the arm towards the sky and your shoulder blade peels away from the ground. Yeah, and then lower the right shoulder blade back to the earth. So you're going back and forth with this kind of slide and glide feeling. It's subtle, but when I do this, I still feel like big sensation inside. And we're going to increase that with the breath. So as your shoulder blade is down, take an inhale. And as you reach the shoulder blade up, exhale. Try that a couple more times. Heavy shoulder blade, inhale. Peel the shoulder blade away, exhale. Twice more. And once more. Lovely. Relax the right arm by your side. Relax the left arm by the side. So you're just settling into like a little Shavasana. It was just a little bit of movement, but you might sense a slight difference from right to left shoulder. Okay, so bend just your right knee, placing right foot on the earth. And make sure your right foot's not too close to your pelvis, that it's a little further forward and a little further to the right. So you're just buying yourself some room. All right, this is way more about what you feel inside than what you look like. But I want you to push your right foot down, your right heel down into the earth pretty firmly. Yeah, watch what happens to your right hip and then relax. Okay, push the right heel down. Lovely. So as I watch Callie do this, I can see that the right hip is kind of lifting up. The right glute is almost peeling away from the earth. Embrace that. Go for it. And lower it back down. So to help this, yeah, even more, and then come right back down. To increase this range, bring the right knee closer to the left knee as you push into the right foot. Yeah. Lovely. And then lower the right hip down. And keep going, and this could stay really, really small, but maybe you're allowing yourself to really increase the range of movement. Push the right foot down, let your right hip lift, and then lower. Inhale with heaviness. Exhale as you push and roll. And that's your movement. Inhale, right hip heavies. Exhale, you push, you roll. Right knee moves towards left knee a little bit. Yeah. So it's so soft, it's so subtle, and the attitude is one of non-striving. Imagine, for right now, there's nothing you need to accomplish. There's nothing you need to get right. There's nothing you need to fix. Just exploring. Now let's take that right hip, relax it down, and then extend your right leg long and have a little rest on the ground. Yeah. Notice any little difference from right leg, right glute, to left leg, left glute. Okay, and this is where it gets pretty fun for me. So, right knee bend, we're putting the pieces together, right arm lifts. Inhale at the bottom. And then exhale, peel your right shoulder blade up, push into your right foot and roll. Maybe even reach your right arm across the body a little bit. Yeah, so Callie's almost rolling onto the left side and then slowly coming back to the starting position. Yeah, heavy here as you inhale. And exhale, reach, and it's almost a little liberating, like a little flying motion over to the left. And then you peel yourself right back down into the support of the earth. Exhale to push and reach and roll. And I'm seeing Callie's head turning to the left naturally. That is stunning. Embrace that. However, yesterday I did this with a client and her head naturally turned to the right as she did this. And that was cool too. So literally embrace the way your body wants to move. Yeah, and then we rest your right arm by the side, rest your right leg long, and just have a little check-in. Right side versus left side. Can we take a cleansing breath? Full breath in. Open the mouth. All right, so now the left arm is going to sweep all the way up and overhead, all the way back behind you, behind you, behind you. Nice. Right knee bends like we just had. Push into the right foot and you're going to roll all the way over onto your left side, relaxing your head onto your left arm, and you're stacking the legs. And the legs are going to go long. And then you can drape your right, actually no, keep your right hand where it is. And then use that right hand to kind of rock your body forward and back. Yeah, and as you do this, you're just thinking of opening up through the left side of the body now. So the left armpit, the left rib cage, the left side of the waist. And then you'll find stillness. And for sometimes when I do this, it's almost like a balance challenge, but the work here is to soften and drape the weight of the body into the earth. And if you can drape your right arm over the right hip for Buddha rest, you always have the option to bring the right hand back down. But we have a few deeper breaths here. One more round of breath. Lovely. So we're staying on this left side. Just bend your two knees pretty deeply. And then can you reach your arms forward, sort of out on the earth, out from your chest? Yeah. And then the right fingertips are actually going to reach away from your body, finding the earth beyond your left fingertips. Yeah. And then slide back to your starting point. So nice. What I can see here, as Callie slides her fingers forward, the right shoulder blade is moving, sliding, and gliding. Now the right fingertips are going to reach forward, but then trace up the left arm with the fingertips. Yep, you're going to trace across the chest. And then you're going to open really slowly into this twist. Take an inhale here. And then exhale, bend the right elbow. Move the fingertips across the collarbones. Down the left arm. Once you reach the left hand, can the head stay heavy on the earth here? Yeah. And then reach your fingertips forward, forward, forward. And you begin again. Head is as heavy as possible as it rolls. And you slowly open up to the twist. And the quality here that I always like to talk about is one of elegance. And I once heard the term elegance described as having all the time and the space in the world. The quality of elegance is the opposite of urgency, the opposite of rushing. And the next time, and there's absolutely no rush, the next time you're in that twist, we're going to stay in the twist. So you'll take the right arm up, across the collarbones, eventually opening up to a lovely twist where you stay, exploring how you can do less to receive more. How resting can help us widen our capacity. how resting is what helps us come back to the present, to come back to ourselves and to our truest nature. Lovely. So closing the twist, and then I'm going to have you just lay on the back in a shavasana. So just laying down whenever you're ready, lengthening the legs long, and maybe when you lie down, it's like you're taking up more space. So the feet can widen, the arms can relax by the sides, and you've done a lot on one side of the body. So just notice how the two sides might feel right now. We're just going to do all of that on the left side. So left arm reaches to the ceiling, to the sky. Remember, that's perfect. The hand, the wrist, the elbows all soft. Peel your left shoulder blade away from the earth and then bring it right back down. Inhale as it's lowered and exhale as it reaches up. Inhale, there's a kind of heaviness in the shoulder blade. Exhale as you lift it up. This is a whole new side, a whole new experience. And then rest that left arm down, take a round of breath. Nice, and then bend the left knee, left foot on the earth. That's really nice. And then just push into the left foot. What happens with the left hip? Let that happen and then relax the hip back down. Maybe a few times like that. Push to roll. Left knee might kind of move towards the right knee and then it comes back through center. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale as you push. Really lovely. And then rest. Rest your pelvis, rest your left leg, rest the arms. Take a round of breath. We're going to put the pieces together. So bend the left knee, left arm reaching to the sky. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, lift your shoulder blade, push into the left foot, roll and reach, and exactly the arm might cross the body a bit, and then you come back through center. And just keep going like that. You push, you reach, you roll. Really, really nice. And then you come back through center. Inhaling as you're at the bottom, and exhaling as you roll. One more time. Nice inhale. And watch how your head is rolling. What way does the head want to roll? Embrace it. Go for it. Push, push, push. And then Shavasana. Legs long, arms relaxed by the sides. Take a rest. That quality of doing nothing. Nice, and then take the right arm up and overhead. Yep, bend the left knee, place the left foot on the ground. And then you push so much so into this left foot that you roll all the way over onto the right side, and the legs are going to stack. left hand is in front of the chest, and it's a gentle rock of the pelvis forward and back. So you're just opening up through the entire right side of the body. How often do we bring our entire weight onto one side and let that side of the body be held by the earth with intention? And then it's kind of like a balancing act, but see if you could drape the left arm over the left hip. And then do less. And once again, this is a practice that you can do when you're on the edge of feeling like you might be overwhelmed. Or maybe instead of getting overwhelmed, maybe you're just shutting down. This could also be a practice of preventative care. If you are like, I know I've got a big week, I'm going to carve out 20 minutes to do this really grounding somatic practice to widen my capacity. And then Callie, go ahead and bend your knees. Let's all bend the knees really deeply. Lengthen the arms outside from the chest. And then you're just going to take the left fingertips. They're going to go forward on the earth first and then back. Just so you can sense that slide and glide. And then at some stage you're going to reach the left fingertips up the arm. And eventually those left fingertips will come across the collarbones. And so luxurious. I mean, we've got skylight windows in here, and right now the sun is shining on Callie's face like a spotlight. And you're going to reverse this and just embrace the elegance of this movement. It's been a gray morning in London, and now we've got some sun. And what if you moved in a way that wasn't trying to achieve anything, but moved in a way that was like, what if I can notice something new? What do I notice about my breath, my body, this movement, how my state, my inner world is shifting as I keep my attention kindly inside my body? Let's pause in that twist. So the left arm's open, back of the left shoulder is being invited towards the ground, not forced. And what these practices do, they bring us back into our window of tolerance. And when we are inside our window of tolerance, which is, just above our window is fight, flight, stress response. Just below is that freeze, stress response. So when we're relaxed and inside our window, we're able to be more curious. We're actually able to be more creative. Let's come onto the spine the way we began, resting in a shavasana. Maybe the hands are by the sides, or maybe the hands are on the belly, whatever you find more nourishing and nurturing right now. And just really sense the back of the body now. How and where you're being held. And imagine that you could be held a little bit more. We'll take 3 rounds of breath to close. So take a full deep inhale. Open the mouth, let it go. Yeah, don't be afraid to make some sound. Sigh it out. Inhale. Let it go. Breathing in and breathing out. Really wonderful. Thank you so much for joining and for practicing. Take your time getting up and have a wonderful rest of your day.